Hi everyone, I'm Jonathan, your host for Rooftop Rant. This is our 7th episode, and today we're going to be talking about a couple rules, including the 51-49 rule, being 100% rule, and then also the power of choice. The power of choice section specifically is something that is really important to me, something that I absolutely love not only talking about, but checking myself on a daily basis just to make sure that I am aware of these micro decisions and micro choices I'm making, how they're affecting my day, how those all combined are affecting my week, and overall affecting my life. So I know you'll enjoy it. Let's get up on the roof. Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Jonathan, and today we're going to be talking about two different topics, some of my favorites, that I think have an incredible impact on how you live your day, how you live your week, and the success of your life, really. So, the 51-49 rule, which is something that I've come to appreciate as I've been working in business and as I have seen relationships. The second one would be the 100% rule. So, we're going to go ahead and look at those two rules, and then we're going to get into a discussion of choice, because I think that taking responsibility for your choices on a daily basis, choices as minute as choosing to feel a certain way or respond a certain way in a interaction with someone else, relational interaction, or with business, or whatever the area in life that you're choosing a specific course of action. I think that this choice is very, very undervalued. I think choice is something that people don't want to talk about because it puts the blame for incorrect actions squarely with the individual who made the action, and it doesn't really allow for a lot of excuses. It doesn't really allow for a lot of blame shifting, and that's tough for a lot of people to deal with, myself included. It's so much easier to say it was this person's fault, or it was that person's fault, or it was their reaction that made me upset. It was their treatment of me that caused me to feel like I was sad, or that I was insufficient. These ways that we feel are 100% our choice, and so I want to get into that a little bit later. Going back to the two rules we're going to talk about today. The first one is called the 51-49 rule. Now, assuming, of course, a scale of 1 to 100, in a relationship, each party would do 50-50. You'd have a teacher who would do 50%, their 50%, in bringing the knowledge to the students, and then there would be the students' 50% of paying attention in class, writing notes, etc. Another example would be the first rule of the two rules we're going to briefly go over today is the 51-49 rule. Now, this rule is more of a mindset that goes through relationships between two parties, whether that's a student and a professor, whether that is someone in business, two parties, whether that's an employee to employer, however that happens to look, whatever relationship we're talking about. It's assuming, of course, a scale of 1 to 100, and it basically says that if one person is focusing on doing 51% and bringing 51% to the relationship, that the relationship will be overall better off. Because if you think about it, if both people think that they're bringing 51%, the chances are that if each person is doing a little bit over what they feel like they should be bringing to the table, both parties may be very satisfied with the outcome, because there's a lot of going the extra mile and not just looking to do like what's on my side of the line, but what's on my side of the line, and then how can I add value past that. So that's the 51-49 rule, and I encourage you, as you're going throughout your daily activities, to think about how you can not just bring your 50% of what you're supposed to be doing to the table, but also bring that extra 1%, or it doesn't have to be 1%, it could be 10%, but really just to bring that little extra to the table that makes you not only have the satisfaction of knowing that you have a job well done, but really gives the other person a sense that you value and care about the relationship. And this can go such a long way in fostering valuable relationships. The second is the 100% rule, and this is tied so strongly with the second half about choices. We're going to spend a little bit more time on this, but I will try to keep it brief because we can talk forever and ever and ever about it. The 100% rule basically says that it basically acknowledges that I, as an individual, are responsible for things. And it's an affirmation of sorts to yourself that you're taking 100% responsibility for things in your life that you're in control of. So you're taking 100% responsibility for your actions, 100% responsibility for your thoughts, 100% responsibility for things like your feelings. Even though some of these things you could say, well, someone does something to me, I need to react. The 100% rule really speaks to our humanity and our self-awareness in the way that we are capable of making a decision in response to our surroundings. Animals, if you do something to an animal, it will respond out of instinct. Humans are different in the way that we can evaluate our responses before they happen. And of course, I'm simplifying it, and there's so many differences, of course, but in this one facet, we are different because we can have self-awareness, the awareness of ourself, how we're interacting with our surroundings, and we can take responsibility for that. Now, taking 100% responsibility for how we influence someone else, taking 100% responsibility for our thoughts, what we think in our head, how that relates to actions, how that translates to actions, really, and then, understanding that we have 100% responsibility over our choices is an incredible, very powerful way to approach life. If you don't have this mindset, if you have the mindset that you aren't in control, you don't have control over your thoughts, over your emotions, over your actions, you really will end up being tossed around by whatever happens to be occurring in your life. And other people coming into your life can cause very serious damage on how you think about yourself, how you think about others, the type of life you live. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to give that control over my life to someone else. I could talk all day about choice and how we really aren't aware that these tiny little choices that we're making are impacting our overall day. It's something that I'm learning. It's something that I'm even learning to be aware of. And I'm realizing that the more emotional I get about something, the more caught up in the drama of it, it makes me incapable of really realizing that I'm making these small little choices, and I start reacting to stuff instead of being assertive, instead of stepping away from the situation a little bit and analyzing and saying, what's happening here? What's in play? What's being said? How am I feeling about this? How am I going to respond? This comes down to really the effectiveness of your days and your weeks, and stuff that I've said in past episodes about having good self-awareness, having good time in the morning, to be able to reflect, to be able to understand, instead of just jumping right into a workload, taking some time to evaluate where this day fits in on the week, how you're going to use the day to accomplish your goals that you have, and overall how you're going to be more effective. Again, in a much more tightly compacted version, having the choice in a exchange between two people, you really need to be aware of these different choices going on, and it will make your communication with people so much more effective. You'll be more assertive. Your relationships will get a lot deeper and more impactful with people, because you won't just respond out of emotion. You won't just respond out of these ways that the people saying different things to you have made you feel, but instead you'll be responding the way that you want to feel. It feels so good having that control and that sense of choice, and the decision-making power that comes with that is a wonderful feeling. And it's something that I'm still learning now. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you who watch these videos. I know they can sometimes get long, but I really believe these are important topics that we're going over, and so I do appreciate your attention. Go ahead, click subscribe so that you can see when other videos are coming out. Follow me on Facebook, Jonathan Amen, or Jono Amen. You can find me on Facebook, and then on Instagram, at Jono Amen is the handle there. And I look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday for the Facebook Live at 5, where we can talk about it a little bit more and engage if you have some comments and some things you want to bring up. So again, comment, subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys all next week.